Hello, Morongo Basin, and listeners around the world online at Z107.7 FM.com. Here is the Z107.7 Local News for Tuesday, September 10th, 2024. A Twentynine Palms man and woman were arrested on suspicion of child abuse with great bodily injury on a child under the age of 5. On Thursday at around 11 p.m., county sheriff's deputies assigned to the city of Twentynine Palms contacted Brandon Koenig, 32, and Lorena Pena, 36, at the High Desert Medical Center in Joshua Tree. At the hospital, they determined that Koenig and Pena were suspects in the abuse of an unidentified child. The sheriff's department did not immediately provide information on the status of the victim, nor Koenig and Pena's relationship with the child. Brandon Koenig and Lorena Pena were arrested on suspicion of child abuse with the possibility of great bodily injury or death, and they were both booked into the West Valley Detention Center on bail of $100,000 each. Koenig and Pena are expected to be arraigned today on felony charges of willfully causing a child to suffer with enhancements for injury on a child under 5 years old. The line fire continues to burn with only 5% containment, sending smoke and haze into the Morongo Basin. And while evacuations for certain communities in San Bernardino County continue, the only threat at the moment for high desert residents is hazardous air conditions. Some air quality monitoring services suggest that people with sensitivities avoid outdoor activities today. As of 10:30 p.m. last night, CAL FIRE reports that the line fire is currently burning at 25,813 acres, an increase of about 5,300 acres since Sunday. The fire is currently at 5% containment. The fire began on Thursday near Baseline Road and Alpine Street in Highland. 3 firefighters have been injured and more than 38,000 structures are threatened, though none have yet been destroyed. Governor Gavin Newsom yesterday sent the California National Guard to support the state's ongoing response to the line fire, which includes the deployment of personnel and aircraft. Over the course of 2 special meetings held Thursday morning, the Copper Mountain College Board of Trustees appointed a new trustee for District 4. Out of 3 applicants, Chuck Uyeda was appointed by the remaining trustees to represent District 4. The other applicants were Randolph Council and Kathy Inscore. Uyeda fills a vacant seat left by Liz Meyer, who retired in July to travel the world. Uyeda will represent the board's District 4, which encompasses parts of Joshua Tree as well as the southern portion of Twentynine Palms, until the term ends in December 2026. Tonight, the Twentynine Palms City Council will gather to discuss a smoother process for obtaining entertainment permits, an update on the self-help housing project, and the Tourism Business Improvement District's marketing plan and budget. Reporter Heather Clisby has more.
With so many requests to host live entertainment, city staff has noted that the process could be simplified. Thus, council will review the standards and means for obtaining an entertainment permit. Among the issues of concern is the high cost, which currently range from $2,100 to $5,000, which likely inhibits many business owners from engaging in this permitting process. Council will hear a status update on the self-help housing project, which involves a potential partnership with the Coachella Valley Housing Coalition. There are challenges in obtaining the necessary lots for the program, as well as budgeting issues. Finally, Council will review the annual marketing plan and budget for the Tourism Business Improvement District, as well as the resolution to levy the nightly 1.5% per occupied room rate on tourists. The meeting takes place on Tuesday, September 10th at 6 p.m. at City Hall, 6136 Adobe Road. It can be live-streamed or viewed on demand via the city's website, twentynine Reporting for Z107.7, I'm Heather Clisby.
A planned conversation about sidewalk displays in Yucca Valley is expected to be postponed from tonight until November. That's according to the Yucca Valley Planning Commission's agenda, which continues a planned public hearing on the issue from tonight's meeting to the Commission's meeting scheduled for November 12th. The hearing would consider newly devised regulations for what retail stores within town limits could put on display in front of their establishment. That includes vending machines, stacks of firewood, racks of clothing, and more, with special regulations for Walmart and Home Depot. Town staff have recommended that the Commission provide them with more time to conduct additional research into the issue. At tonight's meeting, the Commission will also provide a land development update report, which includes information about proposed or currently underway projects in town, and they'll take public comment on future agenda items. Tonight's meeting is open to the public and begins at 6 p.m. at the Yucca Valley Community Center. The Morongo Unified School District Board of Trustees will hold their regular 6 p.m. meeting tonight at Joshua Tree Elementary. Here's reporter Gabriel Hart with a look at the meeting's agenda.
For the meeting's agenda, the Twentynine Palms Band of Mission Indians will be recognized for their recent enormous donation of high school football uniforms to the Yucca Valley Trojans and the Twentynine Palms Wildcats. There will be an enrollment update and Board of Trustees payment report from Superintendent of Business Services Sharon Flores, as well as a staffing update from Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources Stacy Smalling. It is recommended that the board approve the submission of a revised Declaration of Need for fully qualified educators that will remain in force till June 30th, 2025. The board is also recommended to approve the Memorandum of Understanding for the 3 nutritional workers to remain 10-month employees between MUSD and the California School Employees Association and its Chapter 29. The board is also recommended to adopt the completed District Facilities Master Plan and Needs Assessment provided by Schoolworks Incorporated. Lastly, the board will conduct a public hearing on textbook compliance for 2024-25. Reporting for Z107.7, this is Gabriel Hart.
And finally, does the city of Twentynine Palms need a sewer system? That was the question posed to city council candidates on Friday's Z107.7 Up Close show. Each of the 3 candidates running for Twentynine Palms City Council District 2, Jim Crochette, April Ramirez, and Paul Razzo, are each running to represent a district that has strong opinions about the need or lack of need for a citywide sewer system. Here's what they had to say. Jim Crochette said,
I know that if we had a sewer system, that would be a catalyst to further development. The septic system that we have can only take us so far. A lot of developers don't come into the area because they have to build the package plant, which handles the wastewater and sewage of their development. If you ever did get a sewage system in the city, it's not going to be cheap. It's going to be expensive, and I think that takes some long-term planning. To that end, I think what the city did with teaming with the USGS in doing a big survey of our geohydrological and geochemical area on the plant, and that's going to take a couple of years, and find out where are we at. Are we close to a nitrate pollution problem with our water table or not? Once we have that information, then we can do the planning and say, okay, if we bring a sewer system in, how are we going to do it? Where are we going to get the funding? And how do we do it so it's not so onerous to our citizens? I would sit there and say, with my background that I've had, I bet I could be on the council and help with that planning.
Paul, we're going to go to you on the same question.
Yes, we do. And it needs to be accomplished soon because it's not getting any cheaper. The fact of the matter is we're seeing more people coming to Twentynine Palms. We're seeing more development happening. And septic tanks just aren't sustainable long term, and they compose an inconvenience. But no, I think we really need to focus on infrastructure, and we need to do it sooner rather than later.
And April, same question to you.
I was probably one of the more vocal people during the conversations that were going on at City Council. We do need it. We do need a sewer system, but not only because the city needs it to run, but because there are state and federal mandates that are going through that we're not going to have an option. Having a sewer system is going to be something that we have to do in the very near future, a couple of years down the line. I want to make sure that we're doing everything correctly. So when it comes to planning, picking a location, I was in favor of the USGS studies. I got up and I spoke and I said, as someone with a background in public health, you have to make sure that this isn't going to have a long-term effect on your community. So proper planning, proper studying, listening to the experts. And I think that it's important to make sure that we have industry-leading experts and not just people that want to vote one way or another. So I would like to make sure that it is done efficiently and with proper planning from experts.
You can listen to their full conversation, hitting several more topics by listening to the Z107.7 Up Close show as a podcast at Z107.7FM.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Stay tuned to Z107.7 in the coming weeks for more conversations with candidates from November's election. That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. If you hear about news happening, let us know. Email us at tips@z1077fm.com. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 Local News, I'm Jeff Harmatz.